Hey, what's up everybody? Radx here, the one from 72, the ultra neutral, and today I want to get this video out to you as quickly as possible because it is the 25th. Today they're supposed to be doing disclosure, and because of that, 1010 actually got a hold of me and told me that, hey, today has some serious significance and some real oddities that are going on. Do you remember hearing about the UFOs over top of Washington, D.C.? It happened in 1952. Actually, you can see it here on my screen right now. It says the 1952 Washington, D.C. UFO incident, also known as the Washington Flap. The Washington National Airport sightings, or the invasion of Washington, was a series of unidentified flying objects reported from July 12th to July 29th in 1952 over Washington, D.C. The most publicized sighting took place on the weekend of July 19th and July 20th and July 26th and July 27th. UFO historian Curtis Peebles called the incident the climax of the 1952 UFO flap. Now, his name is Curtis Peebles. Now, when we look up Curtis Peebles, now you look, here it is, right here on Wikipedia. This is where it's at, okay? You bring that up, and the very first person's name that they mention is Curtis Peebles. We click on Curtis Peebles right here, and it says Curtis Peebles died June 25th, 2017. Guess what? Today is June 25th, 2021. This is exactly 4 years after he died. The man who covered the Washington, I'm going to go back to it one more time. The man who covered the 1952 Washington, D.C. UFO incident. What is happening right now with disclosure? It's coming from Washington. It's coming from the Pentagon. I don't know how much more I have to tell you guys and show you guys proof and evidence that these things are connected. And the man's name was Peebles, right? So we're going to go back to him real fast. We're going to look at Curtis Peebles here. You could read all about him, his whole thing on what his research was on the UFO sighting that happened over Washington, D.C. And just so happens that it's this day. Now, also, when did he die? He died in 2017. What happened in 2017? 2017 Oumuamua. So if you don't know about the Oumuamua 2017, that was when the UFO came from the Lyra constellation and came towards Earth, and it took off and went in a different direction. I already covered this in my 2017 video, right? So that man died in that same year. The same year in 2017 is when the draconian alien came to me. The same year in 2017 is when there was a bunch of Mothman sightings in Chicago. The same year in 2017 is when Lou Alessandro broke from the Pentagon and came out and spoke up about all this stuff and with the 2 to stars and all that stuff. I mean, it all happened in that 1 year. I don't know how much more I got to show you guys this stuff, the evidence. But also, look, his name is Peebles, right? And here's another connection, right? The Serpent Mound is where? Here's the address right here. 3850 Ohio on Route 73 in Peebles, Ohio. Okay? I mean, it's just bizarre, right? Like, his name's Peebles, Ohio. And when you say, well, okay, well, what the hell is the Serpent Mound? What the hell has Ohio got to do with it? Well, here we go. You want to see more connections with Ohio? So all you got to type in is Pentagon UFO, right? You type in Pentagon UFO in your Google, it will come up with a Wikipedia page now on the Pentagon's UFO videos, and that will pull up the whole thing with the Tic Tac video, right? There's the Tic Tac. You go down here and you look at the pilot's name, and I've done a lot of research on him and listened to a lot of stuff that he has to say, and listen to it over and over and over again, and he says it is not from this Earth. Like, without saying it's alien interactions, it's an alien vehicle, he's telling you it is. And right here it says Pilot Commander David Fravor. Well, where is David Fravor from? Well, let's see here. We look right here. Close Encounters of the Toledo Kind. Fravor pursues UFO in 2004. He's also from Ohio. And you may say, well, really, that's just bizarre, all this Ohio stuff. Well, guess what? NASA is here. We have a NASA base here in Ohio. Also, if you want to talk about bases, well, we have Wright-Patterson Air Base, which is here in Ohio. The Wright-Patterson Air Base. And if you don't know the significance with that and UFOs, Well, here you go. If you type in Wright-Patterson Air Base and UFO, does Hangar 18 legendary alien warehouse exist? Crash, UFO, alien autopsy, and government cover-ups untangle the legendary surroundings of Ohio Wright-Patterson Air Base. That's right. The UFO that went down in New Mexico, they brought the remains of that here to Ohio. And then you say, well, wow, that's just, that's even more stuff going on in Ohio. Well, what else is happening in Ohio? Well, let's see here. The world's leading UFO researchers, MuFon, who needs to move on, obviously moved on to Ohio. They moved here, and I'm going to go down here right here. Here's their new address. 4212 Airport Road at Site 100, Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't know how much more evidence I have to give to you guys. I don't know how much more, there's just so much. It just keeps coming. It just keeps happening. And you wonder, why Joe Biden is the perfect president for this. Why is Joe Biden the perfect president for this? I'm going to tell you why he's supposed to be where he's supposed to be right now while this disclosure is going on. November 20th, 1942 is when Joe Biden was born. Well, guess what? The Battle of LA happened in the same year, 1942, the year that he was born. I don't know. I've told you guys many, many times about these people. I told you that they're not who you think they are. Also, I'm going to be putting out another video here tonight as quickly as I possibly can on Lou Alessandro, because Lou Alessandro most likely was born in the year 1972, making him part of the phenomenon of the 1972 time hack. He is going to go down in history as the one government employee who was in the Pentagon, who was the head of a UFO research program and came out and exposed it. So he is going to be a major part of history. And so surprisingly, he graduated in 1990, but yet they've hidden all this stuff about his birthday. But when you look at it and you look at his, you look at when he graduated, which is 1990, that was the year that people from 1972 would have graduated either in 89 or 1990, which means that Lou Alessandro is either born in 1972, 71, or 73, but I'll bet anything that man was born in 1972, and I'll be doing a video about that as well. And with that, enjoy the rest of the night that you have left, because disclosure is coming. I don't care what anybody says. You look at all of these connections. You can look at them right there. It's in your face.
The skies, these unidentified aerial phenomenon. And he says we don't know exactly what they are. What do you think that it is?
I would ask him again. Thank you.